Survivors of the Florida school shooting press lawmakers to take more action on gun control, billionaire hotelier to sell hotel reservations in space, and the national movement of taxi drivers announces venture to win customers back from Uber. Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman. Let's go straight to the information. Survivors of a Florida school shooting that left 17 people dead traveled on Wednesday to the state capitol to press lawmakers to take more action on gun control. About 100 students arrived in Tallahassee hours before the state legislature rejected a ban on assault rifles like the one used in the attack last week. It was the first organized protest of the youth-led anti-gun movement that has swept the U.S. since the attack. Under pressure to act, President Donald Trump on Tuesday backed a move to ban devices that can enable rifles to shoot hundreds of rounds a minute. This bump stock accessory was also used by a gunman in Las Vegas to kill 58 concert-goers last year. The Never Again movement was born out of the massacre at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland 1 week ago, the second deadliest school shooting in U.S. history. The movement has drawn support from celebrities such as George and Amal Clooney, Steven Spielberg, and Oprah Winfrey, who have donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to help fund a planned march on gun control in Washington on the 24th of March. Wednesday's demonstration is their first organized protest aimed at putting pressure on legislators to ban assault-style rifles, similar to the semi-automatic AR-15 model used by the gunman 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz. In other news, an alliance with the Canadian company Nexo could enable the national movement of taxi drivers to recapture 40% of lost passengers from Uber and Cabify. Applications such as Uber or Cabify have cost Mexican taxi drivers around 40% of their business. In an effort to recover lost passengers, the National Movement of Taxicabs has formed an alliance with this Canadian technology company Nexo. One of the intentions of this partnership is to take advantage of the climate of insecurity that currently threatens other applications. Among the most recent cases of the fallibility of the apps is the case of Mara, the young student kidnapped and murdered in Puebla by a Cabify driver, or the finding in Monterrey of an Uber driver in his trunk. The National Movement of Taxicabs also says there's a commitment to provide a higher level of service, with better quality and range of cars, with Versa and Jetta replacing Nissan Tsuru taxis. Monterrey, Querétaro, Cancun, the state of Mexico, Michoacán, and Mexico City will be the cities in which the app will begin to be present. And in the case of the Mexican capital, a minimum of 10,000 vehicles will be enabled to have a response time of 5 minutes when hiring a trip. The Nexo application is now available in digital stores, although the service will be available as of March. Initially, operations will begin with 200,000 units that already meet the requirements and are part of the 650,000 members of the group of Mexican taxi drivers. Moving on. Robert Bigelow, who made his billions from the hotel chain Budget Suites of America, has officially launched a new spaceflight company called Bigelow Space Operations. The hotel mogul has grand ambitions to use Bigelow Space Operations to commercialize space and outdo NASA with a monster space station. In 2021, the new company plans to sell time aboard its two 55-foot-long inflatable modules to countries in need of orbital laboratory space, as well as multi-million-dollar reservations to tourists seeking the trip and hotel stay of a lifetime. Depending on the prices that SpaceX and other companies charge for flights, the per-passenger cost could be in the low 7 figures, though most likely in the low 8 figures, Bigelow said. NASA currently pays Russia about $81 million per round trip to the ISS for its astronauts. Bigelow said he foresees two major obstacles for his plans to establish private space hotels and laboratories: China and NASA. China is a threat because many of the 17 partners behind the $150 billion International Space Station are being systematically courted to invest in a new orbital laboratory that China may launch as soon as 2022. And NASA is also an issue because under President Donald Trump's direction, the agency plans to pull out of the ISS in 2025, then invest roughly $3 to $4 billion per year in a deep space gateway to help astronauts get to the Moon and Mars. And finally, let's take a look at the markets. The Mexican peso decreased 0.03 or 0.17% to 18.79 on Thursday, February 22nd from 18.82 in the previous trading session. Meanwhile, the IPC Mexico decreased 150 points or 0.31% to 48,536 on Wednesday, February the 21st from 48,685 in the previous trading session. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.